Hello, I'm Patrick Thomas, and welcome to Ladder Talks, live from Studio 25. This is September 11th, 2019. Moments ago, I just did it was just under 30-minute discussion on police pay. I'm not here to talk about police pay at this point. I'm going to discuss the rest of the leader news, and this is what I'm going to call the Wednesday leader news. September 11th, the rest of the story. I'm going to touch briefly on the story the Jacksonville officials took FOIA classes. I'm going to briefly discuss some of the FOIA material that I have researched and got my hands on a copy of the FOIA manual that is published every so often. I'm going to make some short commentaries about what's in the leader news. I'm going to come back to the Jacksonville officials took FOIA classes. I'm going to hold that for last. So, to get started, in the on the front page, we've got a Lone Oak discussion about JPs want to limit the clerk's job. I haven't really read that, but I've been so focused on some of the other Jacksonville stories that I haven't looked at that. But take a look at getting yourself a subscription to the Leader News if you haven't already. It's right here. There's a coupon in here for $19.87. Every now and then I'll mention that. And I think the previous segment I mentioned it, and I said $19.87. It's about $60 a year. I didn't mean to say $60 a year. That would be rather expensive. So I'm kind of correcting myself here. It's $19.87, which is the year 1987. That's when the Leader News started producing this paper. $19.87 per year. That's with a 3-year subscription. That makes it about $60 for the 3 years. Okay? Normally you'd pay a little over $30 per year. $60 compared to $30 a year. There's quite a bit of savings there. So the Leader News, I will tell you, they're doing a great job. The bulk of what I'm reading here as a Jacksonville resident is Jacksonville stuff. We can't seem to stay out of the news. So it's real interesting. Do subscribe. Show your support for a paper newspaper. Democrat Gazette's getting ready to get rid of paper, all but Sundays. I understand one of the other papers here in Arkansas is closed up. The Leader News is picking up various markets. Support them. Go get that subscription. So, there's on here on the front page, reserves train at Little Rock Air Force Base. We do a lot of training. And being prior Arkansas Air National Guard and Air Force, I flew with the training unit out here, the Arkansas Air National Guard. Flew with them for 15 years, training student pilots from all around the world and other crew members. It gets pretty exciting out there whenever everybody's students except for you and one pilot. Yeah, it gets pretty exciting. I can tell you some stories. So, moving over to the notebook, I'm going to point out to you the Dub Myers Memorial Golf Tournament this Friday. They're saying registration is $85 per person or $320 per team. I'm not sure if that's a reduction. I thought it was going to be $400 per team. They may have reduced the amount. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I will tell you these folks are receiving some advertisement and promotional assistance with this golf tournament. And we're going to see what we, the citizens of Jacksonville, are getting for our investment on this. Hopefully they're bringing in a lot of folks from Jacksonville, and maybe some of them might decide to live here or come back and spend some more money. I've already discussed that A&P money and this Dub Myers Memorial Golf Tournament in a previous conversation. Walking tour of historic Lonoke on September 28th. We need to be offering some tours of Jacksonville. We need to become a destination for Jacksonville. We got some historical stuff going on here. I said to some people not too long ago, we need to start referring to ourselves as Jackson Springs. Look at the success that Eureka Springs is having. Look at the success that Hot Springs is having. Now, we all know that before the Bathhouse Row was renovated in Hot Springs, they were kind of dying. So that took some, probably some federal money to get some of that stuff redone. But they revitalized their historical area to bring in more tourists, and I think they did it with some federal money. We need to do what we can do here in Jacksonville to make a benefit of our history. We need to be looking at some federal programs to help revitalize some of our history. I don't think we're doing enough in that department. We need to become a destination. And remember what I said, before we became Jacksonville, we were referred to as Jackson Springs. And some of you need to maybe start tossing that word out a little bit. Get people to say, where's Jackson Springs at? Right outside the front gate of Little Rock Air Force Base. Might be a little more catchy. Maybe in the next 20 years, some of you can have conversations about changing our names from Jacksonville to Jackson Springs. I can hear it now. Yep, I can hear it now. Police reports. North Little Rock police officers responded to a call about a shooting. Jacksonville, it's 75% of what's in this police report here is about a guy and another individual. Both of them from Alexander. They were arrested on multiple charges August 25th for allegedly breaking into a mini storage facility. And it's a pretty long story there, but family council rewards Lynch. State Representative Roger Lynch is as a state representative over in District 14 to the east of us. I know Roger. Used to work with him out at Remington when I worked out there years ago. So family council is recognizing him with some sort of reward. Military road sidewalk. A lot of what's discussed in this story here is some of the stuff that was talked about at city council meeting. What I'm going to refer to as the meeting before the meeting. You know, the real meat and potatoes at city council was the pushback and the comments that city council members made. But I don't know who really even paid attention to the agenda items, because everybody was there waiting to see what other council members had to say about the secret meeting. But for those of you who are wanting sidewalks, got to be patient. Sidewalks in Jacksonville are not going to happen overnight. I can remember in a time when we didn't have any sidewalks. I know where there was a couple of short pieces of sidewalks here, and we got a lot of sidewalks going nowhere, but they'll all connect in time. Give it time, folks. Give it time. I didn't make the obituary. I'm seeing a cybersecurity class graduates out at Little Rock Air Force Base. I'm seeing an article in here. Volunteers are asked to help Cabot cleanup set for October 5th. Where's the Jacksonville cleanup? I don't know who's supposed to be pushing for all that, but keep Jacksonville clean up, or keep Jacksonville beautiful. You know, I'm going to say it again. Where's the unity? Okay. Moving over to the editorial section, new sheriff is watching. They're referring to the new city attorney. I'm not going to read this article to you, but Stephanie Friedman, your city attorney, she's got her eye on what's going on. I'm not going to speak for her, but if you're a city employee and you do something, or if you're an elected official and you do something, you're on your own. You got to go get your own attorney. The city attorney is there to represent the city, not you. Okay? So, any of you think that you're going to hide behind a go-getter of a city attorney? No, she's not there to represent you. So you better be careful. And if you have done something wrong, I would expect it to be the job of the city attorney to bring it to the attention of others where you have violated various policies. Anniversary of September 11th. This article here is pretty interesting little article. While today on September 11th, a lot of us are remembering what happened on 9/11. I can't believe that we actually invited terrorists to Camp David. Okay? Well, many of you know I'm a Trump supporter, and I will vote for Trump again. He's not perfect, and I haven't figured out what it was he wanted to do by inviting these terrorists to come enjoy this retreat called Camp David. I have no idea what he was thinking there. I'm not even going to try to guess. But those some bad dudes. I got my ideas on how we need to deal with them. But moving on. North Little Rock Hartwick waits on Smith to see if he is running. It's interesting. I've got highlighted here. Hartwick grew up in North Little Rock and graduated from North Little Rock High School and was the city's mayor from 1984 to 1988. When he was accused of ethics violations, but an ethics commission determined he had done nothing illegal. Okay? At least an ethics commission had made a determination. I don't know what we got for ethics commissioners today, but they need to do their job. And they need to make a statement. So, I'm going to move back over to the front page. Jacksonville officials took FOIA classes. Councilmember Smith says she wasn't familiar with law. I'm not sure where the Leader News got that comment from. It might have been in some of the FOIA request information, I'm not sure. But she and Twitty took classes. When you read this article, you'll find out that there's some other city council members who have yet to take the FOIA classes. All right, now we'll move over to page 7A, and I've got highlighted just one comment on this. Flouting FOIA laws is a Class C misdemeanor, though FOIA violations are rarely prosecuted. I've already discussed the lack of prosecution for FOIA violations. If an outside agency is asked to investigate someone, let's just say like prosecuting attorney for Pulaski County is asked to investigate this. From what I've read about FOIA investigations, the prosecuting attorney can request that the ethics folks do their own investigation. I would hate to think that nobody's going to do anything. They ought to at least do something, investigating of sorts. I've printed off the FOIA request, which is the FOIA Information Freedom of Information Act, which is Act 93, Act 93 of 1967. This publication was put together so that we, the people, could have access to all of the public records with some exceptions. Okay? A good example is some of the exceptions are things that need to be kept a secret. Somebody could get hurt. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read all the exceptions to you, but there's some things in a person's personnel file. You can't FOIA request that. For those of you who are concealed carry permit holders, you can't FOIA request a list of everybody who holds a concealed carry permit. That's what I call a secret for the protection of those who have concealed carry permits. A lot of you probably didn't know that. It would make sense that those who are carrying concealed be protected in the sense that there might be some anti-gunners out there who want to go gun down individuals who are concealed carry permit holders, and all they have to do is get a list. No, you shouldn't be entitled to that list. What other purpose would you want to know who are concealed carry permit holders? So, in this document, referring to the FOIA handbook, there's a lot of information. One tidbit of information that I want to bring to your attention is 25-19-106, open public meetings. And I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. A, except as otherwise specifically provided by law, all meetings, formal or informal, special or regular, of the governing bodies of all municipalities, counties, townships, and school districts, and all boards, bureaus, commissions, or organizations of the state of Arkansas, except grand juries supported wholly or in part by public funds or expending public funds, shall be public meetings. Now, on that paragraph, I want to make a point. We should not be having meetings in the mayor's conference room. Imagine, if you will, if you go into the mayor's conference room, and let's just say there's 12 chairs in there. Probably 10 for 10 city council members, and 2 other chairs for the mayor and the city clerk. Maybe 13 or 14 chairs. I don't know. I've never counted them. Where's the public going to sit? For Jacksonville, Arkansas, all public meetings, depending upon the size, needs to be in such a location that there are glass windows and the door should be left open so that people can stand in the hallway. There is a room in the hallway there. That glass room allows you to see through the window. The door being left open would be so that people could hear outside in the hallways. Or it ought to be done in the city council chambers, not in the mayor's conference room. Now, the mayor's conference room might be a good place for him to have meetings with his directors, or a place to have meetings with people of the public wanting to go in and talk to the mayor. We should not be having meetings in the mayor's conference room, official, secret, or otherwise. They should be in the city council chambers. Now, recently I was having this conversation with someone. The person who called the meeting should be sitting in the chair. The chair. If you want to call it the chair of the mayor or the chair of the chairman, whatever you want to call it, and have a meeting right there. And anybody in the public who wants to come, and perhaps a TV crew that might want to show up. Mayor's conference room don't have room for all this equipment that TV crews might need. Or today, where someone might need to set up a tripod. As we move forward with public information being gathered via new media, you're going to see a lot more people setting up tripods in front of these meetings. I am advocating that we, moving forward, no longer have meetings in the mayor's conference room that are considered meetings open to the public. That needs to stop. Paragraph B. 1. The time and place of each regular meeting shall be furnished to anyone who requests the information. Okay? In the event of an emergency or special meetings, the person calling the meeting shall notify the representatives of the newspaper, radio, TV stations, and television stations, if any, located in the county in which the meeting is to be held, and any news media located elsewhere that cover regular meetings. We're spending an awful lot of time on identifying who should be notified. Our city clerk should be the person notifying people regardless of whether it's a 2-hour notice or a 2-week notice. And that city clerk should be sending out an email to every news outlet. Why are we describing in paragraph 2 here all these different outlets whenever it is a emergency or special meeting, and saying the person calling the meeting? I think we've got some room for clarification. I say it should be the responsibility of the city clerk or the secretary of the meeting to notify anyone who requests it. That's open for debate, folks, because some people are already telling me, no, the person who is calling this special meeting, they only have to notify one of the reporters over at the Leader News, and you have met the qualification. I disagree with that. I think if anybody wants to be on a list, call it a blast list if you want to. Anybody and everybody who wants to be notified should be on that list. And that list should be maintained by the city clerk. If any city council members are out there hearing what I'm saying, y'all need to fix that. We can write an ordinance. We can write an ordinance that imposes upon us the responsibility of the city clerk being the person to notify. If there's going to be a meeting, a person calling the meeting should notify the city clerk. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we're going to have a meeting. So, but notice the key word I said in there, anyone that wants to be notified. If you want to be notified, call up the city clerk, tell them what meetings you want to be notified of. If you want to be notified of all meetings, you better have an inbox ready to be notified of all meetings, because you'll probably get an email. If you don't have an email and don't do electronic stuff, I'm sure you might need a phone number. If you want to notice prior to 2 hours, you better have some method to get notified, because if we got to mail you a letter, probably not going to get it in time for a 2-hour notice. So anyhow, that's your Leader News. There's some information about for you. For those of you who are members of Jacksonville AR News, I posted this PDF file in Jacksonville AR News. Go find it, read it, print it off. I forget now, it might be about 64 pages if you want to print it. You can save the file, review it. Those of you who want to be in the know, read it. 25 minutes into this, This is part 2 of the Leader News, Wednesday, September 11th. I'm Patrick Thomas. This was Ladder Talks. We're a little bit taller than a soapbox, live from Studio 25. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Next time, I'm going to be discussing some of the FOIA requests that I've got coming up. I got some really good stuff. You're going to like some of the stuff, and there may be some FOIA violations. People not giving me the information that I'm asking for. Oh yeah, it's coming. Talk to you later. Bye.